Well, you're listening to the BNI Effect, the podcast for Brisbane entrepreneurs who believe in givers gain. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach who specialises in sales and leadership. But today I'm your host and fellow BNI member. In this episode, I chat with another Brisbane BNI member to explore their biggest wins, biggest lessons, and how you can get the most out of your BNI membership. This episode is episode number 103, and today's guest is Cindy Kemp from Strive Satisfied. G'day, Cindy.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, thank you for being here. Let's get straight into it. What's the best referral you've either given or received through BNI?
I think the best one I've ever received I can think of right now, I had one a few years ago that was actually somebody buying a business. So we did due diligence on that for the purchaser. That purchaser, we steered them away from the first business. Oh, sorry, they decided not to take that first business. It wasn't in their best interest. They bought another one, which they did the due diligence through us. But since then, they've passed us on to quite a few other people who've purchased businesses. And we've done that accounting due diligence in the background, which is a bit of what we do, like the advisory as well. Does it fit them? So it's something I really love. And it means that we got to help more people buy something that really fits them.
That's an amazing story. And it's the power of BNI, right? How that one introduction can spread to so many more people. When did you first discover BNI, Cindy?
When did I first discover BNI? When was I first pulled to BNI? Probably about 2012, I think it was. And I rented my first office external to my house office that I rented a space from. The member was a BNI member. He's still a BNI member. And he continued to kind of needle away for a few months. It'd be really good if you did this. It'd be a really great idea if you came to visit. I'd really love it if you'd come to visit. I think it'd help. Yeah.
And so you finally went along. So what was that first meeting like?
Awful. Not awful in a bad way. Not
In
awful in a
in
bad
what
way.
way? In what way was it awful?
Very challenging to what I had been doing and to how I did see being in business because it was a room full of business owners. And I felt not, it was exciting as well because I recognized that that's where I needed to be, but I knew that I was small fish in a big pond. So that was it was harrowing at the time. I also didn't like public speaking. If people know me now, that's really bizarre. But to stand up and speak, even in my 30-second visitor thing, was absolutely terrifying. So he helped me through, write something for that because I was so nervous. But yeah.
So the meeting itself wasn't horrible. It was just your take on the meeting was horrible.
It was going outside of the sphere of things. Yeah, no, they were lovely people and yeah, tons of it. And it's Andrew. Have you interviewed Andrew Riley?
No.
Okay. Andrew Riley's a nearly 20-year member, I think, and he was the person who first introduced me. He's in BNI Pegasus.
Yeah, wow, fantastic. And so that was back in 2012. So then how long into your BNI journey did you realize that this BNI thing was going to be for you?
Probably, it was probably not even, it might have been the second meeting. I could recognize that I felt totally uncomfortable, and that meant that it was the right place to be. So I think there's times when you can feel uncomfortable means you're in the wrong spot. And then for myself, I've recognized over my career, there's times when I'll be somewhere and feel super uncomfortable knowing that that's a skill that I have to develop that I don't have. And I think it was probably only the second visit because I joined after that. So I went 2 visits, 2 weeks in a row and joined so that I could be like all these people who knew how to speak to each other, who knew how to talk confidently about their business and look like, and they were successful people in their own right.
So in regards to your comment around, being uncomfortable, so I mean, how do you get comfortable at being uncomfortable? Because a lot of people that I speak to feel the same way when they first get confronted with a room of 20 or 30 strangers and they feel incredibly intimidated and uncomfortable. So how do you get comfortable with being uncomfortable?
Practice. The only thing I know of is practice. There might be a better answer, but I think you have to be okay with starting small wherever you are. And then I think you have to just keep doing it. It's the more times you've been in a room with people you don't know, the more you can push yourself to be comfortable in that. And now it's probably akin to one of my favorite things is to walk into a room of people I don't know because there's lots of people I can talk to and meet and have interesting conversations with. But at the beginning, it's not like that. Networking for me is a soft skill. It's something you learn. Maybe there's some people on the planet who are born as amazing networkers. I think the rest of us have to learn who we are, feel comfortable in our skin, and feel comfortable talking to people that we've never met before and making a conversation we feel good about once we've left. I think that's what scares people, to be honest. I'm not sure what you reckon, but people feel upset that after they said something stupid. You can
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
how to, just be a natural human being that doesn't feel like they said stupid things all day.
Well, and the other thing is, I mean, gosh, I say stupid things all the time. So it's about constantly just pushing through all of those things with the view of wanting to be a better version of yourself. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but I'm
absolutely.
sure a lot of our listeners and viewers, Cindy, can resonate with what you're saying because most people will come in and they will feel, intimidated,
100%.
uncomfortable. They'll feel
Mm,
anxious about standing in that room, and that's a wonderful example where, as you said, it's just practice. It's have a go at it.
absolutely
It's going to
practice.
feel yucky initially, but the more you do of something, the easier it becomes.
Absolutely.
What do you consistently do that brings you success in BNI?
I think I am consistent. I would say that's the thing I do consistently. I think BNI is they call a marathon, not a sprint type activity. So consistency is really key. It isn't very easy to do it year on year, or week on week, month on month, year on year, unless you've found yourself a system and a pattern, and you just keep doing it. And you don't spend too much time worrying about the things that you didn't get done. You just keep going. So I think consistency probably. And the other one is being interested in people. I think if you genuinely can't find a way to be interested in other people long term, then yeah, that would inhibit how you work. And I am genuinely interested in other people, whatever it is they're doing.
So, on the flip side, what are some mistakes that you see other members make that holds them back from achieving success in BNI?
In BNI, I think it's not integrating it into the whole of the way they do business. That's a really common one, I think. And the other one that's more frequent for, or the area I would often get involved in, is people who've got a bit of success from coming along to BNI. So they've joined their BNI chapter, they have got some referrals, and they've grown so quickly that they didn't know how to deal with that and put it into a system. And that always makes me a bit grumpy, but also really sad, because if you've done something that worked and then you can't figure out how to ask for help or find the help you need to streamline your own business so that you can keep doing what works, eventually you run out of your pipeline. So I think that's what people do, that they need to ask for help. I think that's the biggest thing.
Let's have a chat about you and your business, Strive Satisfied. So, what is it that Strive Satisfied does?
Plenty of things in advisory and tax. So mostly accounting advisory, but I also have a tax team. So that's staff who do anything in the range of Australian taxes, bookkeeping, payroll, and those type of things. But for the thing that I love is business advisory, or accounting advisory is what we call it. And for us, it's about business owners don't necessarily have the time to think about why they're making the decisions they're making. But a business is just a set of numbers. It's just a number story played out in lots of different colors and designs and industries. But it's a number story. Numbers are really easy to move around. Humans aren't. I love the psychology of people. So you can have, hairdresser one and hairdresser two, identical shops, opposite sides of the road, completely different ways they're running them, completely different ways they're thinking about them. Helping people to understand their decisions in line with how the money moves really is kind of cool. It's really cool. Sometimes it goes horribly wrong, but most of the time we meet sorry, it doesn't go horribly wrong. Most of the meet clients we meet will be coming up to something that's gone bad. So let's say a big debt wall. So everything's compounding. So their psychology has gotten worse and worse and worse inside that business. Helping them move that around so they can still pay their own mortgage, pay their staff. It's really cool.
And so, are you saying that sometimes people are coming to you not quite too late, but certainly when they've got a really big problem?
Sometimes too late.
Okay, and perhaps
But yeah.
the opportunity is to get to you before the thing becomes the big problem, or definitely before it becomes too late.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, I think you can do something with anybody's business mindset. So even somebody who's gotten to the insolvency stage, the majority of people I've known in that, they still go and start another business. So they still need help in how they think about the money and how they think about the numbers and how they think about the decisions they've got to make along the way and inside of that. But it is really hard to pick something up once it's got to the insolvency stage. If you're a year out from that type of stage, though, so there's lots of debt and no ability to pay it at the moment, but you still have a mechanism to make money, that's a really good time to get involved. It would be really nice to have people who are way away from that, but that's the majority of our clients who that's where they start.
What makes your business different?
I want to say nothing. What makes my business different? I think each individual brings something different. I have an interest in, so where we start, from the top, we do advisory first and tax second. I think a lot of firms do tax first and advisory second. Our preference is to have a client who wants the extra communication and the advice rather than just the compliance. Because especially now, businesses are struggling often and they're looking for the assistance. They don't know where to get it. And I think if you can offer that conversational style to help people translate what they need to understand, because it's kind of like a new language, business numbers for most people. So if you can help translate that into something that makes sense to them, that's something that we're good at. And also for me, because I'm the chief advisor as well, I run a business. I run a couple of businesses. I have plenty of staff. One of the things I have noticed is when some places you'll go, some firms you'll go to, you're dealing with somebody who is an employee. Nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. But if you're a business owner, it can be really helpful that I know how it feels to be sued. Our business has been sued. I know how it feels to not be able to pay the payroll on Monday. I've been there. I know what it feels like when you have to fire people who are wonderful people. They just can't do their job. I think the empathy level or the being able to be in someone's shoes, it's a lot easier to deliver complicated information to somebody if I know how that feels for me, because then you can tailor it in a way they need to hear it. Instead of you'll often hear the complaint, or we will, that their tax accountants were very harsh, or they just said it as if, here's your bill, it's $70,000, and forget that, they've already told you that they have an aunt or a family member with, cancer, or this just happened. Or I think that is valuable skill in the type of advisory, because if you can't take that on board, then the person can't hear what you're trying to say.
That's powerful. You're based in Brisbane. Geographically,
Yes.
where are your clients?
Good question. Most of some Brisbane, some Canberra and Melbourne. Got a couple of clients overseas, the US, New Zealand, and Canada. Anywhere that, yeah, it's. I don't feel like geography matters too much to us if somebody is willing to interact. So obviously the overseas people and the people down in the southern states are Teams meetings. They're not necessarily flying out to see them, on a weekly or monthly basis.
And what about industries? Is there a particular industry that you specialize in, Cindy?
No, we've gravitated towards professional services. So that would be lawyers, consultants, other accountants. We have a strong base in that. We don't have a preference per se. It's just a strong base, and that's where I think when you do something well, especially in an advisory capacity in any industry, then the referrals come from the clients a lot.
So who would be an ideal referral for you right now?
Ooh, I do a referral. People who actually referral source is more ideal for us. So referral source is people who come into contact with business owners who are struggling to understand how that translates. Or somebody will show them a P&L and go, look, you made lots of money, or they'll show them something else and they'll go, oh, we've got no money. The people who meet them first, and sometimes that's, for example, your lawyers and people. But the one that's quite interesting for us is the people who are in the mental health and spiritual advisory. We've had quite a few good past relationships with pastors and different denominations of religious advisors, because actually those people are coming looking for a solution, and that's where they feel comfortable to say, I'm struggling and I need some help.
Very good. Let's play a word association game now. I'm going to say some words. You're going to give me the first thing that comes into your mind.
Oh dear.
Networking.
Tony, the word is hats, but I don't know why the word is hats. There you go.
Okay. Referrals.
Woohoo! That would be like, yay!
Okay. Success.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Coffee.
Oh, yum. I need some more. That's what I think.
Give us gain.
BNI.
Sport. Team.
I love team. And I do.
BNI.
BNI. Didn't you ask that one already? BNI. Happiness.
No, I didn't ask it already. You answered it
Oh,
already. No,
okay.
that's okay. I've got to say that was one of the more entertaining word association games I've done. Thank you, Cindy. If you could give our listeners or our viewers one piece of advice to someone who wants to grow their business through networking, what would it be, Cindy?
I think it would be along the lines of what I've already said. Networking is a soft skill. It's a skill that you have to learn. So start small, just start where you are, because in 5 years, when you look back at where you got to, you will be amazed and very, very pleased with yourself. So just start where you are.
I like it. What's one exciting thing that's happening in your business right now that you'd like the listeners or viewers to know about?
Nothing exciting. Oh, it's nearly tax time, Tony. Nothing exciting. Everything's always happening. I can't think of a thing that's absolutely exciting right now, except I'm going to go and have some more coffee when I finish talking to you.
Okay, now is tax time your grand final, is it?
It's where there's a lot of pressure on the team. So there's a lot of team pressure in that time period to get everything across the line, and that's a lot of cajoling of clients who feel stressed having to do anything to do with tax. So yes, that is a big the team that I'm running, that's a big stressor.
Now, how can our listeners or our viewers learn more about you, Cindy, or get in touch with you?
We have a website. You can go to our website, strive-satisfied.com.au, or you can come to a local BNI and ask about me, and I'm sure you'll be able to find me. Have a one-to-one.
Amazing. Hey, thank you, Cindy. I really appreciate you joining us.
Okay.
Look, that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. Many thanks to today's guest, Cindy Kemp, for sharing her insights with us and showing us what's possible in BNI. If you're a member of BNI, maybe there's an idea or two that Cindy has shared that you could incorporate over the next week. If you're a visitor to BNI, I hope you've seen how powerful this community really can be. Subscribe to hear or view more real stories from Brisbane BNI members. And until next time, give more, trust more, grow more.